All right, we are back. I tried to work on my Shackles card layout a little bit, just because this new level 5 card is very interesting. It basically turns, like, every single hit point that I have, I can use to retaliate onto monsters to make them take every single hit point of health that I have, which means that, like, heals become really effective. Um, because for every point of health I heal is also basically a point of damage I deal. And then, pair the Chain by Spite with Reversal of Fate, and then when, a monster hits me, it suffers, and then, like, I can also suffer to make them suffer. There's just, like, a lot of I take damage and you take the exact same back. It pairs really, really well with Agony of Others, but I don't know if, like, I don't know. It seems hard to, like, get it set up because Reversal of Fate and Agony of Others, they're both bottoms. I really, really want, like, just the ability to play extra bottom actions in a turn. That would be really nice because a lot of my top actions are, like, slightly underwhelming. So I did switch in some cards to give me good top actions. Like, this heal 3 top is going to be really useful. I can pair it with my heal 5 bottom to heal 8 in a turn, and it heals an ally, which is really, really useful. I put in this blood ritual. I don't know. I really wish... I want, like, a hand slot that can heal me. I don't know if that even exists, a hand slot that has a heal on it. That's what would be best. So, I mean, maybe I should just run some shields to just give me some damage mitigation to help me survive, especially on retaliate turns. But, I don't know. I think Heartstring Bow with the Blood Ritual sounds interesting. I really wish we had some, like, multi-target attacks or, like, a way to add attack abilities because we've got a very, very, very good attack modifier deck here. Not that many zeros. And then we've got a whole bunch of +1s, and we've got this -2 double curse. So, like, if we could do 16 attacks in a round, we would put 5 curses in the enemy deck. And that's just really, really powerful. So... I think that's what I'm going to be trying to go for. I also hit level 5, so I got to grab another potion. So I sold my my little, whatever it's called, my little blessed potion on Deathwalker to get the flame fruit, and then I had to 2-for-1 some axe nuts with the corpse cap to get this expertise potion. But I think it has a lot of potential on Shackles to be able to play the top and bottom of the same card in a turn. Something like Reversal of Fate seems pretty good to me to get to play this loss and then retaliate on something during the turn. Sounds good. Unending Torment, just to get a heal 10, give myself 2 negative conditions, and set both of my elements. That sounds like a really, really good turn. Even something potentially like Reprisal is pretty good, because this bottom is basically Retaliate 2, but you get to pick the target who suffers the damage rather than just the guy who hits you, and then the top is potentially Retaliate 4. So we've got some potential going on here with dealing both the top and the bottom in a singular round. I don't think any of the other cards really stick out to me too much. Maybe if I had Wind, Line of Transference would be good to do both the top and bottom. I'm not sure. I mean, I definitely considered just throwing on a regular health potion, and that might be just what I want to do next, just a regular health potion, but we will just have to see. And I think with all of that said, we should be ready to go. So I attempted this level a little bit last night. The baby was not being very cooperative. She had a tummy ache, I think, because near the end of the night she was able to clear herself, and then she was doing much better. But while I was trying to play, it just wasn't really working. Over the course of an hour and a half, I think I recorded like 25 minutes in between pauses to take care of her, and this level wasn't going too well, and I was getting demolished by it, especially because turn 1 did not really go in my favor. So now I know how the beginning of the scenario, I didn't even get to the second room. I like finished the first room and just called it there. But now that I know how this first room is going to go, I think that will help. So let's just do this road event again. I just loaded the old save, so I didn't save any of the experience or anything. And I'm just not going to do anything with this road event, because I don't like to edit the Xhaven, because eventually, someday, I will go back to speedrunning, and then I would have to remember to, like, edit it back and forth, and I'm just not going to mess with it. So let's read the level, get our challenge and battle goals, and then get going. So, My Private Empire. The scenario may only be completed. This is the one that we just unlocked by finding this letter randomly, and it sounds very eloquent. And we are invited to a midwinter ball. The scenario may only be completed at the end of the same round when one of the 5 episodes is overcome. At the end of that round, you may read a thing, or if you beat all 5, read, presumably, a better thing. The peculiar invitation was too interesting to pass up. Clearly, the only way to resolve the mystery of the letter from this Ventilian is to see it through and search for the fanciful estate. At the apron of the Whitefire Woods, you follow the map's instructions to the letter, await the fading sun, square yourself to the 4-sided landmarks, and then look for the shadow of the nearby peaks to converge on a supposed path through the foothills. You enter the brush, first seeing nothing other than the dead bracken you'd expect this time of year. But then, something peculiar. It is well camouflaged by untold years of fallen branches and detritus, but a man-made path is undeniable, bricks laid out in a beckoning order, winding and twisting into the mountains. It takes many hours of hard-fought traipsing, requiring an even mix of hurdling, crawling, and occasional axework, but the energy is not hard to find, because you know you're onto something. In the fading light, you find yourself at a plateau. The brick path opens into a wide, crescent-shaped courtyard on surprisingly level ground. The floor is a colored stone mosaic in the style of the Southern Kingdoms. At the center of this crescent is a towering marble block with an inset door made of bronze. It features a golden knocker shaped as the letter V. You dust yourself off, shake out the cold, and rap the knocker. From a brass pipe just above the door echoes a teeny voice. "Welcome, my friends. I knew you'd come. I've waited so very long for you. My apologies that I can't meet you directly, but please see yourself in, and the festivities will begin. I shan't be long. Oh, and do bring your weapons." With that, the bronze portal unlocks and swivels open. A well-cut marble stairway leads down into the darkness. You enter, unwilling to turn back after coming so far. The air is musky and dank. Nobody has been through here in a long, long time. Magical lamps blaze to life, and you find yourself in a grand chamber with vaulted ceilings. It's expertly hewn out of rock and bedecked with ornate fixtures, grand mosaic tiles, and sprawling crimson velvet drapery along the walls. A servant's bell hangs from a velvet rope in the center of the room. Door 1 is locked. Throughout the scenario, there will be 5 episodes. Whenever any episode is overcome, you may choose to complete the scenario at the end of that round. If you do not, the scenario continues as normal, and cannot be completed again until another episode is overcome. If all 5 episodes are not overcome, whether the scenario is completed or lost, it can be reattempted again after returning to Frosthaven. So, we have this very large scenario. We read a thing as soon as we enter A. Now, on my first attempt last night, I presumed you enter A and it would unlock this door and there would be monsters in here. That is not what happens. What happened for me is I had Deathwalker set Call to the Abyss with her top and move onto the thing. Well, I shouldn't have done that. And it instantly spawns the guys. And Deathwalker was in the middle of the room, and Deathwalker got surrounded and had to lose 2 cards to damage because she got crit and took a +2 on one of their harder hitting cards. And so it was a disaster. My characters were laid out like this, so the skeletons went like that, and it was not good. It was very not good. And so I started in like the worst way possible, and then the baby was being slightly uncooperative. So we are just going to start the level over. Let's get our 5 bonus health. I saw these 2 challenges last time, so we'll just go for a new one. All undamaged enemies have Retaliate 2. That's going to be really rough for Infuser. The other 2 characters don't really care because Deathwalker is almost entirely attacking at range, and Shackles is like retaliating or hitting at range. I went for this one, Hunker Down. During the initiative of each round, if there are fewer monsters and characters on the map, all gain ward. But I don't know. I was already struggling with the scenario, so like going through and facing things that are warded sounds very rough. So let's get 2 new challenges, since I failed those last time. Whenever any character loots one or more loot tokens, they gain a curse. If the scenario has no loot deck, okay, so we can do that one. Whenever one or more elements moves from waning to inert at the end of a round, one character suffers hazardous terrain damage. Ugh. Maybe Infuser will be good about that. I don't think any of these monsters do elements. Living Spirits do elements, and Living Doom can do elements. But that's probably just going to be one of the rooms. Those guys go together, because Living Doom summon living Spirits. Blade Spinners do fire, but Shackles can eat fire. My Shackles doesn't have any eating fire cards. Infuser can turn fire into another element. But she also just, like, makes a lot of elements. I don't know. It sounds interesting to try that. I want to loot, and I would hate to lose the scenario because I get to the end and I draw a curse. So let's go for the Arcane Tactics. It definitely sounds a little bit rough with Infuser, but we'll just have to see. I mean, hazardous terrain damage maybe isn't that much. It'll be 3 damage on our difficulty. Let's go back up to the regularly scheduled programming difficulty. Figure out exactly how we want to start this and then get going. So some battle goals. Deathwalker has end at full health, kill an enemy with 2 or more negative conditions, kill 2 or more enemies in the same round. That's a very easy one for her, with she plays any of her losses. Kill an enemy and open a door in the same turn in either order. You can't open the doors here, because when you kill all the enemies, it automatically opens the doors. And I don't think that would count for like, opening the door just by killing the enemy. Or I don't think, like, Infuser gets credit for opening the door. Kill the first monster to die for Infuser, or occupy a door hex adjacent to 2 or more enemies at the end of a round. I don't know any of the monster types in the other rooms, but I did open this door, and we see that there are no monsters in the room, and we have another one of these in the middle. So you'll stand on it, and it'll spawn, almost guaranteed, which means that, like, it's up here in the very middle of the room. It's pretty far away from this door. And then, I mean, this one's going to have to be in the middle, and this one's going to have to be in the middle, right? So maybe we go for killing the first monster, and I just have to force that. But that's the kind of thing that should be forcible, right? And then Shackles, never kill an enemy, move no more than 2 hexes, so I guess we're going for have 5 or more cards at the end, but that's not going to happen. There's no way we can move fewer than 2 hexes. I mean, with this long room, I mean, there's just no way. So I think at this point we're ready. I'm definitely going to start with Call to the Abyss and I guess Fleeting Dusk to get a shadow out and get my shadow potential made. Infuser's going to want to set elements so that she can do probably Boon of the Tempest on turn 2. I just need to move up to something, and then I can hit for 3, and then add move and jump to all my abilities. Would I rather have that attack 3 or this strengthen with the wound? I think I want the Boon of the Tempest the most, which puts me looking for wind and any other element. So wind and any other element. I would have to spawn the monsters to get the wind here. The any other element part is pretty easy. But I guess the wind part is what's tough. I could just go for this Caress of Night with Slashing Cyclone. If I spawn the enemies, then I can use my boots to move 2 onto 1, attack for 2, and attack for 2, or attack for 1, and set both of my elements. And I get 2 XP. That's pretty good. And then the next turn, I would already be next to something, so I could Boon of the Tempest. I would be able to hit it for 3. What would my bottom be? Maybe I want to be setting elements to go for this Emerald Edge on the following turn. And so I would need to set Leaf, because Deathwalker could set Dark for me, right? So I would be playing Boon of the Tempest top, and I need a Leaf bottom, which is Emerald Edge, but that's the card we want to play. Torrential Cleave. Torrential Cleave, I would just stay on the same guy and immobilize him. and I would get to hit him for 3 with my Boon of the Tempest, and then I would get my Emerald Edge. Maybe it would be better, though, to riddle him before I go for the Emerald Edge, rather than doing the Boon of the Tempest. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's just go late and play those 2 cards. I think that it's a fine plan. And then I get all of the elements that I need. So I know that as soon as I stand on this, a bunch of skeletons will spawn. They've got multi-target, so they'll all target Shackles. So I think I can just go for this Scarred Effigy with Reprisal, and I'll just do, like, do huge damage with a lot of Retaliate. And that'll get them low, which will help Infuser pick up her first kill, I think. And I think I'm happy there. So let's go. Let's do it. So Shackles is going to start with move 2, retaliate 3. We get all of these guys. So guy number 1 will come here. Guy number 2 will come here. And then the other 2 won't be able to hit multiple targets. So they will just both go after Shackles. And they're not moving. Which means that Shackles doesn't get to retaliate on anybody this turn. And it's like the worst possible case scenario. Dang. And then now I don't know how I'm dealing enough damage to kill all of these guys. I kind of want to just reset the scenario. Because this is so bad. I mean, I should have dealt 6 damage to all of these guys. They should all be half health. And instead, they're just going to get to hit Deathwalker for free. So if I had done like this, then at least I wouldn't even take any damage, but whatever. Deathwalker takes 5. Man, what a crappy start. Make a Shadow and set Call to the Abyss. And then I will use my Duelist Shoes during your turn. Move 2. You must end adjacent to an enemy. Don't mind that. And then I will attack for 1 and set Wind. And then I will attack for 2 and set Dark. 0 damage, and 0 damage because he's got a shield. So that's underwhelming. A very underwhelming turn out of me. Okay. Well, I mean, I still guess I immobilize this guy. It'll prevent him from hitting multi-targets at least. So I'll Boon of the Tempest. That'll eat Wind and the Dark. And then I'll immobilize this guy. That'll give me Leaf. And then I just need to set Dark with Deathwalker. So maybe I will... I mean, I've only got 1 Shadow out. I don't think I can kill this guy, but maybe I can Fluid Knight and Knight Takes Shape and deal good damage to him and put a wound going on him. On Shackles, maybe I'll go for this Reversal of Fate to retaliate the damage that I take from one guy. And let's just hit with Blood Ritual. I mean, we're full health right now, so we don't need to heal yet. But we can hopefully get some good damage out. Okay, attack for 3 out of the skeletons isn't too bad. So Shackles, maybe I want to kill this Living Bones. I mean, not maybe. I definitely do want to kill this Living Bones. And I had Deathwalker go slower than Infuser, which was a mistake. It's okay. So let's attack with the Blood Ritual. I can go ahead and set Reversal of Fate too. This is the next time you suffer damage from an attack, not just suffer damage, so the 2 damage self won't proc it. Blood Ritual with the Heart Strike Bow, it's going to be an attack for 5, range 5. And let's go after the guy that Deathwalker's targeting. There we go. So we deal 5 damage through the shield and give him a Curse. And that's a very nice start to Shackles. He'll suffer 2 from the Blood Ritual, but that's okay. We don't mind that too much. I think that's the first time I've played that card. And that's a pretty good first pull. Now, Deathwalker is going to... I guess I'll start by attacking for 5 with Fluid Knight and setting Dark. Let's go ahead and wound him, I believe. So attack for 5 with Wound. It will deal 5 and Wound. And it will also mark him. And then with the bottom of my other card, I don't have any shadows, but I can just skip the first 2 halves and do the attack for 3. And it'll deal 2 damage, which will kill. So I didn't need to do the wound, but that's okay. Go ahead and put a shadow here. this guy will step here to hit the two of us. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy will be the one who will go here and hit the two of us. And then this guy will just go... this guy will go 1, 2, 3 to hit Infuser and Shackles. So, yeah, this guy will hit Infuser and Shackles, and this guy will hit Deathwalker. But that's okay. Infuser's next. She's going to eat both of these elements to set up her Boon of the Tempest. And we're already at 4 XP, which is crazy. So add +1 move and jump to all your move abilities. And when you play this infusion and any other, perform attack 3. So let's do an attack for 3. No way to buff this up, so we'll just hit. That's 3 -1s in a row. So we just deal 1 damage. Oh, and we didn't get the first kill. Deathwalker got the first kill. Why did I not... Okay. Well, failed that battle goal. Don't know what I was thinking. I can move 2, and I think you have to do the movement in order to get the leaf. But I can move 2 and just end in the same hex that I'm in. So that'll set leaf, and then I will immobilize this guy, which prevents him from hitting others, but it doesn't really matter. Actually, it does, because both of these hexes, they'd be able to hit 2, and so with him immobilized, Shackles takes 1 fewer hit, which is worth something, right? So guy number 2 will hit the Infuser. It's attack for 3. She would take 4, so let's block 3 and 1. These guys don't give any negative conditions, so we don't need to save the Kite Shield. So I take no damage on Infuser. Then 4 will go here and hit Shackles. Shackles takes 3, which means this guy takes 3 from the Reversal of Fate. And then Infuser. Infuser will take 1 and use her other shield. And then this guy will move 2, hit Shackles and Deathwalker. Attack for 3. And Deathwalker takes 3. Not a very good start here for me, I don't think. I mean, yeah, I would have loved to retaliate on these guys. I would have dealt so much damage. Okay, I need to go fast on Deathwalker to set Dark. I guess the only way I can guaranteed set Dark is to move with Dominate here. That's a little underwhelming, but since I don't have 2 shadows out, I can't do much else. So maybe I'll just go fast with, like, Deepening Despair or something, and just, like, do a melee and mark this guy and move with Dominate. If I move 4, I can get into the corner so that these guys can't multi-target. Actually, I can just move 1 to get into this corner, but I'd rather be closer to the door, right? So that should work. Let's just tag this guy and move to the corner and make sure we're going really fast. On Shackles, not really enough time to play Chained by Spite top. I could play the bottom to get Retaliate 2. If I'm doing that twice onto 2 enemies, that's 4 damage with my bottom, which is pretty good. I don't think there's enough time to do, like, Swift Vengeance and Infection Purge with my Deadly Mixture in this first room here. So maybe I will just do the Chain by Spite to get the fire. And do I just want to heal up? That seems fine. Then here, I'll have the 2 elements for the Emerald Edge. So I'll get a ward on myself. What do I want to do with my bottom? I would have the 2 elements to do Bounty of the Earth if I want. I would have Leaf and Fire. So I could do that instead of Emerald Edge, but I'd probably rather get this attack 5 ward. Retaliate 1 would be okay, but not, like, the most amazing thing in the world. And I probably want to save this shield too for some of the turns when I step on the things and start the episodes. Stepping onto it and getting shield 2 for the round sounds like a really good idea. So if I'm doing Emerald Edge, my bottom, maybe I just don't have a super useful one, because I don't want to do Crystalline Aegis. I want to use that for the top. If I did have the Bounty of the Earth, though, I would be able to brittle both of these guys, and maybe that would be my best bet. That would be super good, but this is going to be a really long scenario. I don't know if I have enough time to be doing something like that. So let's just go for Onyx Shards, because this is a good speed. I'll be able to underspeed them, and I can hit something for 5. And we will call it there. Wondering if I want to Hunger Grasps with my top so that I can target this guy, because I could kill him and get a shadow out of him, and that would be useful. And maybe that's better than Deepening Despair. Only problem now is that this is slow, and so I would have to use my boots to underspeed the infuser, but maybe that's okay. And they kind of screw me over. All right, let's boots to underspeed infuser, which means we underspeed the skeletons as well. I'm just going to use this one shadow to attack here with Hunger Grasps. So attack for 3. And it will deal 4. And then I can move 4, set dark. And then these guys all go and heal up. Which means that retaliate on shackles does nothing. So do I want to just go ahead and set the chain by spite? Let's do that. Set the chain by spite, and then let's just heal 5 and set wind and muddle ourselves. And then now maybe that I'm muddled, I could go for the curse. But infuser is first. She'll eat leaf and dark and attack for 5 into guy number 4, who is the one who's marched by Deathwalker. I assume I did the heal too. I had to have, right? So attack for 5 and then ward self. That is such a good action. Hey, let's go. So he has 2 shields, so 5 crits for 10. He takes 8 and he dies. So I'm really glad that I marked this guy. And now I have 2 shadows out on Deathwalker, and she can start doing stuff that's good, like Lashing Tendrils. Maybe I'll just Black Barrage this guy and Lashing Tendrils, Deepening Despair and Lashing Tendrils, and that'll give me the Dark, which means that I can have Dark Wind for this next turn for Infuser. And we still haven't had to suffer any Arcane Tactics damage. I can move with my bottom, and so I think I will just go pick up this loot. Because I didn't do that, right? So, boom, boom, got the XP. Okay. Even though it was a really bad start with turn 1, I think this is still going pretty well. Deepening Despair will give me the dark. I think I might as well just Lashing Tendrils with the bottom. I don't see any reason not to. Let's see. I'll want to eat wind and something else. Wind and dark. Which I guess is just this Unstoppable Impulse, which doesn't seem super amazing. I mean, I don't need to do this for any reason, but also it doesn't hurt. I get an experience with my bottom, so it's whatever. So we can just Crystalline Aegis and do that, and it'll be fine. Maybe I can push them in such a way that they'll target Shackles. Shackles, he could hand off this Muddle. He could eat the wind to get an attack for 4. It would be muddled for the attack, though. He could just toss a curse into their deck. He could make both of them suffer 2. I guess I'm going to suffer 3 at the beginning of my turn now, because I have this Chained by Spite. At the start of each of your turns, you may suffer up to 3 to cause an enemy within range 3 to suffer an equal amount. That's just so good. That's so insane. And so, I mean, I kind of want to attack to potentially get more curses into their deck. Swift Vengeance does give me 1. Maybe I just Pleasure and Pain. Swift Vengeance with Pleasure and Pain. I can give a poison to the Infuser, and then this way I get to put 2 curses in their deck. I can go at 11 speed, which will underspeed the Deathwalker, and I think that that is best. Because I'm at 47 on my other card. So let's move first, poison myself and an ally within range 4, so we'll poison the Infuser, I believe. Although she's getting hit this turn and Deathwalker isn't. This guy would go here, and then this guy would hit Deathwalker. So yeah, let's not poison. Well, no, she's going to move here, right, on her turn. So she would be the one who gets targeted. So let's poison Deathwalker. Deathwalker doesn't care as much. Although she doesn't have any heals, whereas Infuser does. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Poison the Deathwalker, poison the Shackles. And then there are 2 guys within range, so they will get 2 curses because I have 2 negative conditions, and I get an experience. Boom, boom. Oh, and both enemies suffer 1. And at the start of my turn, I suffer 3 to make this guy suffer 3. And now Deathwalker actually has a pretty decent shot at killing. So Deathwalker is going to attack for 4 to target this guy, to mark him. Let's advantage this, I think. We get a +1 curse. That is beautiful. So he takes 4. And he gets another curse. And then... Dang. That's a little unfortunate. So with my bottom, I can move the Lashing Tendrils. The Dark is not set yet. So he only suffers 3. Because he's adjacent to both of these shadows. He is marked. But he's going to get his attack for 4 off on this turn. So... Let's see. He's got move 3. Is there a way for me to get him to where he can't reach Deathwalker? I don't think so. Because I have this interesting push, move, push. It pushes 2. So if I move here and push him for 2, then he can't reach Deathwalker, but he can reach Infuser. So there's no way for me to, like, get to where they won't hit Infuser this turn. Which means that I have to just let Infuser be the one who tanks the hit. Dang, I really wish that I had been able to kill. I'm kind of surprised I wasn't, because he suffered 1 and he suffered 3. So he suffered 4 on Shackles. He took 4 from the Deepening Despair and then 3 from the Lashing Tendrils. It's just so close. If I had just had the Dark or done like Power Potion or something for +1 damage, but... Yeah, it really feels to me like I should have been able to kill them. Let's say on Shackle's turn, it's a little bit after the fact, but let's Amulet of Life to remove that poison. And I should hopefully survive this turn, I think. So Infuser, I guess, is going to eat the Wind and the Dark to get this Unstoppable Impulse. It's not really amazing, because I would rather have the Dark on Deathwalker's turn, but what you gonna do? And then I can brittle this guy, number 2. And it feels like Shackles should have some Retaliate or something, but I guess he doesn't. This guy will go here, and this guy will go here, and they'll both hit. So first, Infuser and Shackles. Infuser takes 2, and Shackles takes a curse. And then Infuser and Shackles. Infuser takes 3, and Shackles takes 5. So, a little bit disappointing for that turn, but that's okay. If Shackles goes really fast, he can suffer 1 damage to make this guy die. Infuser, I guess, just wants to go fast and hit this guy hard, so I can do an attack for 3. Just go as fast as I can and attack for 3. I don't really see any reason not to do that. And then Deathwalker just goes right after Shackles and can... there's no Dark, so it's just going to be an attack for 2 either way. And move all the shadows. Which means I'm not killing this guy, am I? Okay, this is fine. Infuser, I guess I'll do the attack for 3 into the brittled guy. Or I could do the attack for 3 into this guy, and then I know this guy would suffer 6 from the brittle and the suffer 3. So yeah, let's have Infuser's attack for 3 go into the skeleton who's almost dead. And it kills. It actually would have dealt the same damage either way. But then Shackles would have only had to suffer 1, and now it has to suffer 3. So it actually would have been better. And then Infuser can just move and pick up. And then she didn't set any elements, because there were no elements to conserve with Rising Momentum. But I don't want to set elements, so that nobody has to suffer hazard damage. Shackles will suffer 3 to make this guy suffer 6 from the brittle. And then Shackles will... I could suffer 1 to make him suffer 1. I could give myself all the negative conditions to make him suffer like 5 and die. Or I could just back up and attack him for 2. Or I could just melee him for 2. There's no reason not to just melee him for 2. So do I want him to suffer 1 or melee him for 2? And the answer is melee him for 2. And it'll deal 2 damage, which I think will hopefully be the difference. Let's go ahead and shell armor here, which I should have used sooner to get that ward. And yeah, now he... Oh, I did not realize he was underspeeding Deathwalker. Oh, no. Attack into Infuser? Oh. What a fail. I can't believe I failed that this hard. This should not have been a hard room. It's just that first turn going so poorly for me. And now I need a +2 to kill him, actually. How did I not heavy sword anything? I did never play Dominate. I feel like I have to power potion here, because now a +1 will kill. And I did get the +1, so I think it was worth it. I just needed the dark is what I really needed. And now I have move 2, move all shadows 2, so I guess I'll do that. But I'm very disappointed in myself. Luckily, with this scenario, we can win it without having to do everything. Because we can end it on any of the episodes. So that's nice. I just can't believe I did that. I never took advantage of the bonus move in either. Okay, you know what? This is super retroactive, but I'm tired. I'm very sleep deprived. I did this heal 3. And so Infuser would have taken 3 damage. Actually, Deathwalker's poisoned, isn't she? But I definitely needed to use my heal 3 pet there, which means that I wouldn't have had to lose this card. And then now everyone is good to long rest. But yeah, Infuser just takes that little bit of damage instead. Everybody long rests, and then now Deathwalker actually gets the heal. Still, everybody is very low, though. Did I do the ward on... Wait, did I take the... I don't think I took the attack on... Okay, Shackles got missed. I think I just did... Yeah, I just did the +1. Shackles got missed, so he still has his ward. A card to lose. We're down to 8 cards, though, and this is like a really long scenario. I need this line of transference for the move. I would love to give myself all the negative conditions and get a good Swift Vengeance in. I need this heal. If I give myself all the negative conditions, then I want to follow up after the curse with the infection purge, because that's just a lot of damage. Like 10 damage with a non-lost top is really good. Maybe I drop this blood ritual, but I would love to get more attacks in. Not reversal of fate. Retaliate bottom is quite nice. I mean, there are just no cards to drop. There are like literally no cards to drop. I need all of these. So maybe the answer is I drop Swift Vengeance. But cursing is too good, so I'll drop blood ritual, I guess. But now I have no ranged tops aside from line of transference, which just needs the wind to be as good as blood ritual, so I'll just need to try to force wind for Shackles to use. But Infuser can set wind too. I need to keep that in mind. She gets all of these tanky items back. Let's see. Not Emerald Edge, not Crystalline Aegis. Those are both 2 of my favorite cards. Slashing Cyclone is a good way to get wind. Caress of Night, I definitely want to set. Torrential Cleave is a good way to move and set Leaf. Onyx Shards is a disarm. We're not getting rid of that. Rising Momentum will be an attack 4 once I get 1 more infusion out, so that's pretty good. And that's a shield and infusion. So I think we'll drop the Unstoppable Impulse. It's just attack 3, set dark. Which is good. I mean, yeah, to be dropping an attack 4 on the first rest cycle with a melee attacking class is kind of insane. Let's see. We're going to need to heal up. Maybe I want to do the bottom of the Crystalline Aegis to get the Regenerate. Although she's not the character who has taken the most damage. What do we want to drop here? I think Deepening Despair is generally a good card to drop. Although if I have it, then maybe I don't need a move card on Shackles. So, okay, let's Pleasure and Pain on Shackles to heal up Infuser. And then we'll probably just move with Line of Transference. So Infuser will just go later than Shackles. She also has the bonus movement. maybe we just want to move 3 and set Leaf. I have the 1 bonus movement from Boon of the Hoarder, Tempest. Boon of the Tempest. Boon of the Hoarder is a gem from Diablo 3. But I can move 3, set Leaf. And then with my top, I don't really know. But if I have Leaf, maybe I could go for this Bounty of the Earth. Or the Caress of Night with just Dark. Caress of the Night would be really good if I were on top of some monsters. So can I spawn them now? Probably not. Move 4 with Shackles gets it here, but then I don't have any more move 4s to get onto the thing. I wouldn't mind Infuser stepping on the switch. I don't think I want Deathwalker to. She's already really low and squishy. So she'll just bring in a Shadow. And then probably move all shadows next turn. So we'll just do kind of a nothing top. Like Forceful Spirits. And so then Infuser, maybe I don't set the Leaf yet. If I do Rising Momentum, it's a move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Deathwalker would have to get out of the way, but she wasn't planning on doing that. So let's just, I guess we'll move and set Leaf. And then we can like sustain Leaf on the next turn or something. We can figure something out. Disarm is nice to save. Let's get rid of this Battle Prowess. I don't think we need that. So Shackles will heal both for 3, which gets an experience with Pleasure and Pain, and then move for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Deathwalker will place a new Shadow and do nothing with her top. And then Infuser will move 3, set Leaf, and do nothing with her top. Dark to Dark. Done. So Deathwalker would have to move 5. She doesn't have a move 5. So Deathwalker is just going to move in and move all shadows, I guess. Wave of Anguish with... Let's do Fluid Knight, because that's a card that we don't really need. All of the other cards I think are better. Because next turn, if we can set the thing off, then Hunger Grasps with Black Barrage is a good turn the next turn, and then Dominate with Lashing Tendrils. And then maybe, like, Stamina Potion back a card. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Infuser to step on the switch. So that's not really going to happen. It can't happen this turn, but it could happen the next. So I could Rising Momentum to sustain Wind if I heal with Shackles to get Wind. That's pretty good. I like Reversal of Fate more, though. So we'll Reversal of Fate and heal for 5. Let's see. Any way for me to eat the Leaf here? I don't think so. So I could set it again with Bounty of the Earth. I could set it with this Emerald Edge heal. Or I can just turn it into a different element with my helmet. So if I'm getting Dark, I could just turn it back into Leaf to get an Emerald Edge on the following turn. I'm going to be moving on to the switch thing, though, so I'll be setting Leaf next turn. So I guess I'll just move forward. And let's just play Slashing Cyclone, just to kind of get that as the card that comes out. So Shackles will Reversal of Fate and heal for 5 with Unending Torment. But I'm not going to immobilize myself and set fire. Then Infuser is going to move for 4. If I just had one more, it would be move for 5. But 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with her helmet, I think, turn the Leaf into Leaf so that nobody has to suffer hazard damage from the challenge. Deathwalker is Wave of Anguish, so move 2, move all shadows 2. Oh, not the door, just the shadow. Just the shadow. Oh. Okay. Moving shadows just for 2 is really not very much. Shackles was right here. And new turn. So now I'm going to move on to here and Bounty of the Earth. that'll give me Leaf, so if I can set Dark, then I can get the Caress of Night on the following turn. So maybe we'll just do Emerald Edge here. And then we can, like, ward up and Caress of Night. I think that sounds pretty good. Shackles, if Infuser's going to move there, maybe I just move up and retaliate. So I should have turned the element into... Let's say I turn the element into Wind for Shackles to use with the helmet, because I could have turned it into anything, and I'm setting Leaf on this next turn anyway. And then we'll go Hunger Grasps, Black Barrage. And I'm too slow with Shackles. I mean, it should be okay, right? It should be okay for Shackles to go fast. I would just love to see what the enemies are doing and where they're positioning before I... So do I want to go at 29? But then what if 29 is too slow and the monsters... What is it going to be? Could be Flaming Blade Spinners, Living Doom, Living Spirits, Robotic Bolt Shooters, Ruined Machines, Steel Automatons. This room is going to have to be the Bolt Shooters, right? Because, like, you'll be in the middle. It's going to spawn Bolt Shooters on every corner. And then they have enough range that they can shell you from the middle. That sounds... I feel like Bolt Shooters are always disgusting in every scenario that they're in. And they're really evil. And so I think this will be the Bolt Shooter room. There are a bunch of machines... And they're going to have to be doubled up in one of the episodes. So Bolt Shooters and Ruined Machines, or Bolt Shooters and Blade Spinners, or all three. It's probably Bolt Shooters and Flame Spinners and Ruined Machines with Steel Automatons. And then Living Doom with Living Spirits. I don't know. I don't know. Let's go at 29. Just so that I can see what is happening. I don't like it. I don't like it. But Infuser goes first and has move 2. Great. And they're not attacking. Ugh. Okay. I moved 2 with Emerald Edge, and then now I'm on here, and I can Bounty of the Earth. They're not attacking, so I might as well set the Leaf and get the experience. So, just shield 1. Okay, I'm a bit surrounded here. Deathwalker, let's see, I can move all shadows 3. So let's get those ones in. This goes 1, 2, 3. This goes 1, 2, 3. And this one, maybe just 1, 2. And then I can attack with Hunger Grasps. So 2 shadows attack for 3. I guess I'll just have these 2 attack the one who's next to Deathwalker. So 2 attacks for 3. And it does 9. And this guy is the one who is marked. And then now Shackles can suffer 3 with the ward. It's just suffer 1 to make this guy suffer 3. And then move to retaliate. I think I would rather be surrounded, so let's move here and retaliate, and then heal 2 and consume the wind for an experience. So I've got retaliate 7. I did get to retaliate into the skeletons. I don't get to retaliate into these ruined machines. This is a disaster. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. So 1, 1, 2, 3. Suffers 1. Infuser gets muddled. 3. 6 would go 1, 2, 3. 4 will muddle these 2. 7, 8, 10. This is not good. This is very not good, because if they explode on the next turn, I just lose. And I don't appreciate that. And I don't know what I can do about it. There's no dark. If I could get dark on Infuser quickly, then Lashing Tendrils bottom would kill this guy, which would be kind of nice. So let's go for Dominate Lashing Tendrils. Here, I could disarm, and then they can't get the thing on me. What do I need for Caress of the Night? I need Dark. Maybe I wouldn't mind playing the Onyx Shards, or I could Element Potion to get the Dark for Deathwalker. I don't mind any of those options. I could also suffer on Shackles to make this guy take 2, and then he would die to the bottom of the thing. Shackles will just go for Swift Vengeance, Infection Purge, and we'll probably play the all of the thing, Deadly Mixture. I think that this is going to be an acceptable turn. And so we'll go for Crystalline Aegis and Caress of the Night. Okay, they're not attacking again, which is fine. So how do I want to do this? I need to focus fire to get them down low so that they can't wreck me. I think I'm going to use my Radiant Boon to set Dark. Once each scenario during the ordering of initiative, after all ability cards have been revealed, create any element. So now this will be available for Infuser's turn because it happens before her turn, and she can eat 2 in Caress of the Night. And so let's just do that, right? And so I get 2. I eat both of these elements. Now I can strengthen myself and then do an attack for 3. And attack for 3. Is there any reason to move down here? I would like to hit this guy, I think. So I guess before I did that, I'll use my shoes to do a move 3 to get down here. And hit this guy with my strengthened attack for 3. Oh, nice. So it'll deal 6. And then with my bottom, I will regenerate and ward myself with Crystalline Aegis. Pretty decent turn. I've got a lot of armor, so I can long rest on this next turn, and I'll be able to like save my ward, which is kind of nice. I guess I lose the strengthen, but the strengthen dodged my miss. So like, what more could you really ask for? Do I want to mana potion so that this guy dies? I think not. In fact, yeah, let's have Shackles just suffer 2 to make this guy suffer 2, and then now he'll die to Deathwalker's bottom. And we will... I guess I'll give myself 4 negative conditions. And I've already got the muddle from them from last turn. So do I want to Infection Purge, or do I want to Curse? The problem is, if they get their Explosion card, then they just do their Explosion on you no matter what. Even if they draw a curse. So I think Infection Purge is going to be the way to go. It's going to set fire, which I'll have to find a way to use with Infuser so I don't suffer the hazard damage. I don't know if I can use that fire in any way. So that's a little unfortunate. So I and 2 enemies within range suffer 1 plus X, where X is the number of negative conditions I have. I'm going to ward myself before I suffer the damage. So it's 6, so I suffer 3. And then 2 monsters in range will suffer 6. So we could go for this guy to get him dead. No. I'm going to go for these 2. Both of these guys are going to suffer. Deathwalker is going to attack into this guy in this round and possibly kill him with Dominate using the Shadow Under, and then move these 2 shadows here to make this guy suffer 3, and then get a new shadow out of it right under. And then Deathwalker is going to Stamina Potion so that she can have another turn. And hopefully I can kill all 3 of these guys so that they can't explode on me, because that's the only dangerous card that these guys have. So Deathwalker is going to Dominate. Attack for 6. We'll make it 7 with Wound and Strengthen, because I would love to crit this guy right here. We don't crit, but we deal 8 and Wound. So he will die soon. Was guy number 10. that eats the shadow under, and then I move these two so that this guy suffers 3. And that'll give me a new shadow. And then all of the monsters go. This guy will suffer from his wound. Nobody else is wounded. This guy goes here. This guy goes here. This guy can't. No, he sees this hex because he can walk through his allies to get there. So he moves 4. 1, 2, 3. And then we get Poison Immobilize on Infuser. And we still have all of these negative conditions. Not the Muddle anymore. But we still have those 2 negative conditions on Shackles. So, and I said I was going to Stamina Potion, right? So let's Stamina Potion. It has to be a level 1 card, so Fluid Knight is the only thing that makes any sense here. So I'm going to have to short rest. But that's okay. I cannot allow explosions to happen. Now, if I retaliate on Shackles, I still have this Reversal of Fate, which is kind of annoying. At least I don't lose any stamina from it. I should have Amulet of Lifed, but I did not. I'm going to short rest. I cannot lose Unending Torment. Really did not want to lose Scarred Effigy. That's my Retaliate bottom. Retaliate was going to be my big way to deal damage to these guys. Can I do any disarming? No, because I can't attack because I'm disarmed, so I can't Line of Transference. Pleasure and Pain makes everything suffer 1. I would just have to poison, like, Deathwalker. Or can I give the poison to Infuser when she's already poisoned? I think I can. And so they would all suffer 1. It would make this guy die to the wound, which would be decently useful. Like, that's not bad for a bottom. I could just go for Infection Purge again. It would be suffer 5, and both of these guys would suffer 5. One of them would get retaliated on by my thing. They would go... That guy would go down to 5 health. So Deathwalker, if she attacks, she doesn't have advantage, does she? No. But Fluid Knight can hit 1 for 5. Knight takes shape. Yeah, Fluid Knight can hit this one for 5. Knight takes shape to come over and attack this one for 3. I have a Frenzy Potion if I need to. Then Infuser, I guess, is short resting and disarming one of these guys. Ooh, the Immobilize is really going to hurt on her. And she couldn't have Kite Shielded it. I think I have to short rest. I think I have to short rest and play the Disarm. Torrential Cleave is a fine card to lose. I feel like I have to play into the worst case scenario, with the worst case scenario being them attacking and blowing up on me. Let's see. I don't have any elements to Emerald Edge. I'm going to suffer the hazardous terrain damage because I can't consume the fire. I don't have any way to consume a wild element on anybody, I don't think. Oh, I have this Bounty of the Earth, but I don't have any way of getting Leaf, do I? That could consume the fire, but nobody can set. Yeah, I would also get to heal and get strengthened and do an attack 3, so that would be pretty good, but I don't have any way of setting Leaf. And I used my... What is it called? Radiant Boon. I used that already. So, I guess I could have used Element Potion last turn to do Leaf and Fire, but I definitely had not thought that far ahead. I'm not going to do that. I think I like Infection Purge. And so I guess Infection Purge with Pleasure and Pain. I'm going to go slow, but I'm faster than their Explosion card, which is the only thing I'm really afraid of. There's a chance that they kill me, but it's pretty low. I think I'm decently happy enough with that. The only problem is if they deal damage to me and then I can't suffer the 5, that would suck. I do have my Major Health Potion and my Amulet of Life, but then I would get rid of the negative conditions on myself. And my Infection Purge would do less damage, but that's probably not the end of the world. We'll Fluid Knight and Knight takes shape. I could Brittle 2 targets. That would be really good if they're not exploding. If they are exploding, I, like, lose the scenario. If they are exploding, I lose Infuser, which isn't really losing the scenario. So it's like a 1 in 7 that I would have to risk. But if I get the risk correctly, then Crystalline Aegis is really good. I could also Slashing Cyclone and Emerald Edge so that next turn I could Bounty of the Earth with Leaf and Wind. Hitting this guy for 1 would kill him with the wound, but that also doesn't matter because Shackles is making him suffer 1, so I don't get anything out of that. Although if I pull a modifier, maybe I can get elements out of a modifier. But then I would be setting the elements that I want anyway. Onyx Shards is definitely the safest thing, but just disarming doesn't actually accelerate my win condition here. It's really unfortunate that this guy is the last in the turn. Because if, like, guy number 3 were back here, then I could disarm guy number 1. Guy number 1 would go. Guy number 3 would go. He wouldn't be able to hit a focus. And then guy number 6 would go. But that is not the order that they are in. Are you waking up, baby? She looks like she's still asleep. She's thinking about milk. Are you hungry? She's not hungry, but she's grumpy. Let me pick cards, and then I'm going to take a break. And I just don't know what to do. It's so tough. It's so tough, because I don't want her to die, but she's immobilized. She is strengthened, so I guess I'll do the Slashing Cyclone. The strengthen carries the day. And then we'll heal. Oh, is she settled down? On the bright side, they didn't explode, right? This is probably best case for me. Especially because this guy's not going to be able to... Oh, but if Infuser kills this guy with the Slashing Cyclone, then he will get here and hit Infuser. It's only an attack for 4, but I don't have that much. On the bright side, I'm no longer poisoned because of my Regenerate. And then I can heal 2 targets, or I can just heal myself. I want the Leaf, so I think I'll just heal myself. Actually, no, let's do that after, because we'll do the Slashing Cyclone first. So it's attack for 1, because I do want the Wind. So the guy on the left, dang. So the attack for 1, it'll kill. I just needed to draw 2 zeros on him, and it wouldn't have killed, and then this guy wouldn't have been able to hit. Then guy number 1, we can infuse Dark or Earth. And I think we're going to do Earth. And then, and so he would take 2 from that, right? And then, no, 1. He would take 1. And then attack for 1. And it does 2. And then, now I got the Earth already. Or do I want Dark on Deathwalker? No, Dark doesn't help Deathwalker at all. So now I can heal 2 targets. And so I think I will heal myself, and I think I'm going to go ahead and heal Shackles, which will make his thing deal less damage, but he'll take 2 less in Retaliate, and he won't have to take that wound damage. So we'll do that. Deathwalker, oh, Deathwalker can teleport right there, and that'll prevent this guy from attacking, so that'll be good. So Deathwalker will move a shadow. And actually, first, let's do the Fluid Knight, attacking into this guy with this shadow. So attack for 5. And we'll mark him, because if we crit him, that would be really good. But we did not crit him. So he just takes 5. And then I think I'm going to move the mark to this guy. I teleport over here and attack for 3 and mark this guy. And he takes 4. Now, these 2 are going to hit Infuser. This guy's going to hit Deathwalker. This guy's going to hit Shackles. And I'm okay with all of that. I am okay with all of that. And so... I've got so many elements on this next turn to use. We walled off here, so this guy can't reach. So I guess they just go now, right? I could Frenzy Potion to try to hurt this guy, but I'm only killing with crit, so I don't think it's worth. So guy number 1 will hit Infuser. Attack for 4. It will deal 3, and so we will block it. Guy number 3 is next. Attack for 4 and do Infuser. It will deal 5. And so we'll just not use any shielding, and the ward will go off and reduce the 5 down to 2. And that is not bad at all. Then guy number 6 goes, and he can't see. Guy number 7 attacks Deathwalker and misses. I will take that for sure. Guy number 8 attacks Shackles and misses, and so I still don't get to do my Reversal of Fate damage. Shackles can poison itself and Infuser to make all of these guys suffer 1. Maybe I want to poison Deathwalker. No, because she's probably long resting here, and Infuser can shield next turn. So let's poison Infuser and poison Shackles. And then Shackles can suffer 3. Oh, I forgot about the initial suffer 3. So let's suffer 3 to make this guy suffer 3 at the chained by spite. And then I will suffer 3 with my Infection Purge to make these 2 guys under me suffer 3. And so that'll give me a Shadow, which I think I want up here. And then with my bottom, I already did my bottom. So I just need Reversal of Fate to proc on that guy, or I can go faster than him and just suffer 2 and make him suffer. Then I would want Deathwalker to get out of the way. Infuser can jump over and in. But I don't want to be too surrounded. Alright, we'll just have to figure out this next turn. I reset fire with the Infection Purge, so it's actually not going to go off on me yet this turn. Oh, you know what? I think I didn't let him suffer enough, and I need to suffer 1 more, because it's 1 plus the number of negative conditions you have, right? And so then, at this point, does it make sense to... No, I'm not going to remove the thing, because next turn I'll Swift Vengeance and get 3 curses. I'll suffer 1, kill this guy, Swift Vengeance, and Unending Torment. So it wouldn't matter either way. But it's fine. This is fine. This is good. The only problem is if they explode. And so that's like every turn, right? And yeah, I mean, I don't see anything that I can do if they're exploding. I think maybe I regenerate and ward myself. If this guy attacks and I can block all of the damage, then when he explodes, the ward will go off and I'll survive. And if this guy goes, then so be it. And Infuser just loses a card, and Deathwalker will long rest. Okay. They're just never going to explode, which is good. We're trying to make plans for it every turn, but it's just not the kind of thing that you can account for on every single turn. So Infuser... Disarm doesn't do anything now, which is unfortunate. So I guess I double Brittle. Right? That'll be better. So let's Brittle 1 and 3. And then my bottom, I'm not going to do that. So I can move. And it's move 3 with jump. So let's go up here. Just get into the next room. Oh, you know what? I also forgot about this Caress of Night. So these guys should have been wounded on the previous turn, which now means that they're going to be wounded for this Brittle. When I attack them with the Slashing Cyclone. So maybe instead then, since these guys are wounded, I'll Brittle 1 and 6. So I'll jump over, and then I'll do the Brittle, since I forgot to wound. And I forgot to muddle these guys, but I didn't take that much damage. The +1 should have been muddled, and maybe it would have drawn a curse, but live and learn, right? Oh, I don't have the immobilize or the disarm anymore. So Swift Vengeance sucks now. How did I forget about that? Needed to keep my negative conditions longer. Okay. Well, I'll suffer 1 to make this guy suffer 1. Oh, wait. No, because he's going to suffer and die on his own turn, right? So there's no reason to do it to him. So I'll suffer 3 to make this guy suffer 6. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. After this turn, we'll stop and we'll go figure out some milk, maybe, right? You hungry for milk? Her eyes are closed. She's asleep. Yeah, I took you away from where... I took you away from your cover, so that bright light's right in your face. We're almost done with this turn. We're very close to done with this turn. This guy's no longer brittled. Oh, we, like, are done with this turn. Did I finish everything on Shackles? No, I didn't do anything on Shackles. So I guess I'll just give them 1 curse. I know. I know it sucks to just get 1 curse out of Swift Vengeance. I need more negative conditions on myself. Oh, what is that sound? What is that sound? Well, Amulet of Life to remove the poison, and then heal for 5. Reset the wind. Reset the wind and get an experience. We get muddled. And then they will all go. So, oh, yeah. So this guy's just going to suffer 2. These guys are going to suffer 2 as well. This guy will die, and all of my characters get muddled. Except for Deathwalker. This gets reset. Did I not do any of the elements? Did I really make that boneheaded of a mistake? Now 3 elements are going to fall off. I did not think about that at all. 3 elements are going to fall off, and I'm going to have to suffer 9 hazardous terrain damage from the challenge. I could major element potion to make it less. Oh my gosh. Next turn, at least I can eat the wind with Line of Transference or Reprisal. So that'll be good, basically either way. I can shield? Oh, man. What a horrible, horrible fail. I heal 2 with the long rest. I get these items back. Pick a card to lose. I haven't lost anything on Deathwalker, so she's in pretty good shape. I think we'll do Forceful Spirits. That sounds totally fine to me. Recover these cards. Oh, now you're asleep again? Now you're asleep again? I see how it is. I see how it is. And then these 3 elements are going to fall off. So let's hit... Why is it not working? Hit end turn, and we suffer 9. So let's do 3, 3, 3. Okay, we're done. All right, it's been about an hour. We got to eat. We got to get burped and all that stuff, and now we are back to sleep. Hopefully, for a good amount of time. Now, while I was sitting here getting her all settled and situated, I reread this thing. So whenever 1 or more elements move from waning to inert, 1 character suffers hazardous terrain damage, which means that I don't think I needed everybody to suffer the hazardous terrain damage. So I can heal up 3 on 2 of my characters. I think it was this last turn that it happened where I had 3 elements fall off. But I don't actually need everybody to suffer the hazardous terrain. Just 1 of them. It's not 1 per element. So trying to figure out who the best person to suffer that damage would be, I mean, Shackles makes sense because it has a lot of heals. I also don't hate the idea of doing it onto Astral, because she has this healing infusion, and she also has that regenerate with Crystal Aegis. So if she just does that, by the time I get into the next room, I think she'll be full health, and she'll want the ward on that anyway to step on the switch and presumably get blasted by bolt shooters. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same as the other rooms. You'll step on a switch right here, and it's going to give bolt shooters in all four corners of the room. And that sounds miserable. So let's heal the other two characters. I don't know. Maybe I don't need the health on Deathwalker, but it feels like it would be nice to have. So then with I could Lashing Tendrils to deal 3 damage to this guy. And then I could deal 2 damage to him with Shackles beginning of the turn thing. And then I don't have Dark. Can I set Dark on Infuser? No. I can turn Dark to Dark, but I can't set Dark. Do I have my helmet? I don't have my helmet. Because if I could set Dark, I could play this Lost to set Dark, but I don't think that's worth it. If I could set Dark, then Deathwalker could get a Disarm, which would prevent the machines from exploding on me, which would be nice. But maybe I'll just go for Rising Momentum. I'll just hit as hard as I can. Hit as hard as possible. It'll be attack for 4 because I've got 1 pair of infusions. And that's pretty good. That's something, right? It will be muddled, though. Line of Transference, I guess I can hand a muddle to this guy. Or if they're going to melee, I could move up and retaliate. And then on Deathwalker, maybe we want to Hunger Grasps rather than Dominate. Hunger Grasps does slightly more, so we'll do Hunger Grasps with Lashing Tendrils. And hope that this will be enough. I do still have that Reversal of Fate that still hasn't gone off. Nice, okay. I just need to move away from these guys and they won't be hurting me. I love that. I love that for me. So Infuser's going to attack for 4 into this guy with the Rising Momentum. She's first? Yeah. So attack for 4. It will deal 3. And then I've got move 3. So let's just go up here. And I think that'll be for the best. Shackles will suffer 2. To make this guy suffer 2. And then move to suffer 2. Dang, I really wish Deathwalker were before... Oh, is Deathwalker before Shackles? No, 2570 and 2580. So let's boots Deathwalker to go before Shackles. I've only had my characters go, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. Let's... No, because I already did Infuser's turn, and who I target with Hunger Grasps could potentially change things. So, let's see. Lashing Tendrils kills this guy, and then I guess I'll just do 2 Hunger Grasps into him. So let's move this 1, 2, 3. Well, that. Move these shadows like this. They're both adjacent to this guy, so he'll suffer 3. And then both of these shadows will attack this Ruined Machine and mark him. So attack for 3. Attack for... Oh. Shackles was supposed to go first. Shackles is just going to attack this guy in the back with the Transference. So I'll eat the wind, so it'll be attack for 4. But it's still muddled because I don't remove the condition until the end. And it'll deal 5. Oh. And then with this, 6. And give them a curse. And then this guy gets the muddle that I have. Not that it will do anything. Now Deathwalker goes and pulls the 0 and the 1. Or did I... Oh, dang it. I think I only pulled 1 modifier on Deathwalker, right? So this guy takes 3 from the first attack. And then 3 from the second attack of Hunger Grasps. And I can pull him up here. And it'll be fine. Oh, and with Reprisal, I'll move up here. And so I'll pull this guy up. And then this guy will suffer and die. This guy will suffer. This guy will... Oh, no, he doesn't suffer. And now we're new turn. So Infuser can long rest. Deathwalker. This guy is the one who's marked, so if I go after them... do I have a 2 target? I do not have a 2 target. 2 target would be really nice. Okay, Shackles can go first and deal 1 damage to this guy, right? Oh. Shackles is long resting. Alright, that's fine. Deathwalker will just consume a shadow and attack this guy for 6 with Dominate. And hope to kill. And then we'll just leave the mark on that other guy. So we'll leave the mark on him. We'll attack for 6 right here with Dominate. We'll muddle. We'll make it attack for 7. Attack for 7 and wound. But no advantage. It does 8, so it kills. And then this guy will die, which will get us another shadow, and it'll open the door. And Shackles, I think I need to bring down Reversal of Fate to get another... to get an extra turn on the next rest cycle, which means that in that entire room, Shackles did not suffer damage from an attack 1 time. We'll drop... Where did it go? We'll drop Swift Vengeance because we're not going to have a lot of conditions to curse people with. We will remove this poison on Infuser, get all of our armor back. Oh, I probably could have used the Tower Shield to take less damage somewhere. That would have been useful. Then we'll keep the shield. We'll keep Rising Momentum. That's pretty good here. Definitely keep Crystalline Aegis. Maybe I could drop the Onyx Shards, but I think Slashing Cyclones. Yeah, Slashing Cyclone's the card to drop for sure. And then I really wish we could go for a big turn where we do Bounty of the Earth with Emerald Edge at the same time. If I had all 3 elements, I would still need an Infusion Potion to be able to do Leaf twice in the same turn. But that would be so sick to, like, use my boots to move up to something, Bounty of the Earth bottom to get Strengthen, Heal, attack for 3, and then attack for 5. I can just do it on 2 separate turns, though. So if I can set these elements, then I can Mana Potion, and I'll still have the Strengthen from the Bounty of the Earth to go into the Emerald Edge on the following turn. So that's really not too bad. I have a lot of stamina left on Infuser. So I just want to... I think first I'll regenerate and ward, and then I'll just be moving over this way. So for now, I don't want to set any elements. And then Shackles ate the element on the attack, so I didn't have to suffer anything there. I guess I just move forward. I might as well Pleasure and Pain to heal the... Let's just do a move 2 and Pleasure and Pain. And then we'll just go really slow here and make a 5th shadow, and then we can move them all next turn. That'll be fine. There's so much loot in this room to pick up, but I don't think I have the time. Infuser's going to regenerate ward. And then nothing with her top, I believe. Yeah, nothing with the top. Man, maybe it would be worth it to just come down here and loot too. To get all this stuff on Infuser. Is it... It would probably be most worth it to do that and then just, like, leave after the 3rd episode rather than doing the 4th and 5th episodes. But I really want to see how far we can get into the scenario. I make a 5th shadow. And I heal for 3. Heal for 3. With Pleasure and Pain, and then I just move 2. Then Black Barrage to move all my shadows. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's Rising Momentum and Emerald Edge, and then next turn we'll Onyx Shards and Bounty of the Earth to shield while we summon everybody. Over here, move 4, heal 5. Definitely makes the most sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heal 5. Here we get Regenerate. We move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it's 3 plus 1, and then plus 1 with Jump. Can't do the top of Emerald Edge, but that's fine. And then move all shadows 3. Let's see. Now, I guess it's fine to set Reversal of Fate, because next rest cycle will have fewer. But do I want to move 2 in? If there's going to be something spawning in the corner here, I move 2 in Reprisal. If it doesn't move, I can retaliate on it. I think Reversal of Fate might be better. Maybe I don't. I think I don't step on the thing this turn. So let's just Reversal of Fate then. Let's play these 2 cards and let's long rest. So Deathwalker is just going to move a shadow for 3. Infuser, I think, is just going to heal and nothing else. Yeah. And then Shackles is just going to set Reversal of Fate and heal with Reprisal. And then Deathwalker gets these back, and let's see. I've still got Wave of Anguish, so I can go for a big turn with that. I've got 5 shadows, so maybe no Fleeting Dusk, right? Because it looks like this room's going to be really spread out. So let's move all shadows for 3. I want to reserve the right to teleport in, so let's not do that. Lashing Tendrils will be good. So yeah, just move all shadows for 3 here, and maybe we'll just play like Fluid Knight to not. And then once we move them for 3, moving them for 2 will put things in range of Hunger Grasps. So that'll be okay, and I long rest the other 2. So move all shadows 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's not great. Maybe like this is best, because we don't know exactly where they're going to be. Here I heal 3. Shackles is already full health. Let's make sure all items get refreshed. They did. So a card to lose, Infection Purge. I'm not getting a ton of negative conditions. I still have 1 more card with this Reversal of Fate, but there was no reason to bring it down because we don't get extra stamina. Here, Brittle is probably still the best thing for me to do. Emerald Edge is really good, probably with the Bounty of the Earth. Rising Momentum is good, so let's drop the loot card. And I will step onto the thing, maybe with Onyx Shards and Shield, and then we will have to see if on the next turn I want to go for... Oh, if I shield, then I don't get the infusion, but maybe I just go for that on the following rest cycle. What elements do I need for it? Leaf and anything? I can make Leaf with the bottom of Emerald Edge, or I can sustain it with Rising Momentum. Or I can turn Dark into Leaf with Circlet of Elements. So I've got the potential for things. I guess I go late. I move in. Or if I move 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, would I be able to retaliate on anything? I don't know. So let's go late and move in, and then we'll just figure it out from there. But I have my Reversal of Fate, so I would rather go fast and just worst case scenario, just Reversal of Fate onto something, right? And then Deathwalker, we will go late, I think with Wave of Anguish and Hunger Grasps. So Infuser first, we'll step here. Oh, not the bolt shooters, just the automatons. And this is the 3rd episode. So episode 4 is going to be either bolt shooters and blade spinners, or Living Doom and Living Spirits. But those 2 are definitely going to be paired together. Yeah, it makes sense to put bolt shooters and blade spinners in this tiny room, because when blade spinners move forward, they'll be able to reach anybody. With bolt shooters range 4, they'll be able to reach anybody. So all of that is going to be a nightmare. But then where would the Living Doom and Living Spirits be? Maybe when you clear the 4th episode, they spawn in this room too? Or maybe you come... Maybe this is like the ballroom of the mansion that we're in. We come to this like closet or kitchen or whatever. We kill the kitchen workers, and then we come back to the ballroom to fight the main guy. Okay, so we get stand still, attack with range, and pierce. So Infuser doesn't need this shield at all. Do I get anything out of the leaf by shielding? And can I reach anybody with a move 3? I can reach with the move 3. So let's do that, I think. Let's use the boots to do a move 3 with jump and end on a guy. And then, so I can go for either the normal or the elite. Let's have her go after the normal, because the elite hits hard, so we'll have Shackles go after the elite. Move here and just do a default attack for 2, because it'll wound and a muddle. And it misses. But that's okay. We get the wound, which is what we really cared about. Shackles can move 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but he's not in range to Reversal of Fate. But that's not the end of the world. Deathwalker, move 2, move all shadows 2. Maybe something like this. And then Hunger Grasps. Yeah, that was the card. So 2 attacks for 3 into the bottom Steel Automaton is going to do nothing. But I can pull him out of the way. Dang, if only I had had a shadow closer to the automaton, I could have pulled him into shackles so that Reversal of Fate could have dealt 6 damage or so, but she ate 30, so my wife has taken the baby. Okay. I guess I'll just attack for Hunger Grasps, 2 attacks for 3. I'm not going to Vantage it. Deathwalker's not going to be very useful in this room. Okay, we get 2 damage and we get a curse. That's about as good as I could have hoped for. 5 curses in their deck is nice. Retaliating onto this guy is definitely possible. It's just really annoying because I know for a fact if I play my Retaliate card, then on this next turn, he's going to play his attack with Push, and I only have move 2, so I can't get into the corner for him to still get retaliated on. This guy will just suffer from his wound. He'll attack for 3 at disadvantage, and it'll deal 1 through the ward. And we're new turn. Infuser. Brittle is nice, but he's wounded. So I just want to go right after and Lashing Tendrils dominate. That's fine. At 29 speed. He could get his body block at 24 speed. So I'll go Rising Momentum. Beautiful. Beautiful. Those initiatives work out perfectly because they don't have anything in between 25 and 29, I'm pretty sure. They have a 10 and then they have the 24, which is body block. And then I'll just play this. Hopefully they're moving and attacking melee. We'll just have to see. Yeah, I mean, you can't really call it any better than that, can you? Attacking with push. When you suffer damage this round, one enemy within range 2 suffers 2. I think the push would go off before... I mean, because that's like... It's like retaliate, right? So the push would finish, and he'll push me out of range of the range 2. It's like... I mean, come on. There's no reason for me to do... There's no reason for me to do literally anything on Shackles. I will still get the Reversal of Fate. So that'll be something. But I don't have a ranged attack. I'm not in range to Chained by Spite. Frustrating. Okay, Infuser gets to go first. She will brittle this guy. Which will give her... I need them to group up. So I guess I move Shackles this way so that he comes closer. If I go 1-2, he'll go 1-2-3-4 and hit me over here. And that'll be fine. I want them to group up so that I can brittle both in the same turn. Infuser will just brittle this guy and then can move 3 and turn wind into wind. It's move 5. Do I get anything out of moving 5 anywhere, though? Not really. And she's going to long rest next turn. Let's just move over here. And then Shackles, I think, is just going to move here because I don't get anything out of going up towards him, so I want them to group together. Maybe I go here. He'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll push me 1, 2, 3. And this guy will come here. and then they're almost touching. Maybe I don't want to be pushed because I can Reversal of Fate. So maybe I'll move Infuser here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Infuser had move 5, so it can go down here and long rest. Shackles can come here, and then this guy will push this direction, and that'll be better, I think. Deathwalker, move 2 shadows for 3 and make him suffer 6 with Lashing Tendrils. Suffer 3 but brittled, and then attack for 6. Yeah, this is Deathwalker's last attack of the rest cycle, so we'll make it 6, 7 with advantage. Okay, dodge to the miss. Gotta love that. The attack for 7, was that +2 dark? So 7 + 2 to 9, -3, he takes 6. So if I had done the brittle on the attack for 9... No, it would have, yeah, it wouldn't have really mattered because the shield would reduce it first. So it would have still been 12 damage suffered, actually. That would have been really nice. But that's okay. That finishes Deathwalker. So this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4 after Shackles, or 1, 2, 3, 4 after Shackles. Either way, he's still 1 away. This guy will suffer from the wound and go here, 1, 2, 3, and attack Shackles for 3, and it'll miss. So it won't proc the Reversal of Fate, and it'll push him for 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. So next turn, I can have the Elite go after Shackles. I think I rest everybody. Yeah, everybody rests. We do have Dark waning, which means somebody's going to have to suffer 3 this next turn. Okay, this guy moves 1, 2 into Shackles and attacks for 7, and it'll deal 6. So Reversal of Fate will make him take 6. I have no shot at clearing out all of this scenario. This guy will suffer and move here and attack for 4. Are you kidding me? Oh, but I've got armor. I've got armor. So the attack for 4 crits for 8, and we can reduce it by 6 so that we only take 2 damage. Okay. I was very upset for a second there. Also, I can Circlet of Elements the Dark into something, because now we're at the long rest part. So what cards do I want to do? Emerald Edge is nice. Crystalline Aegis is just so much better, though. I guess I'll just dark to dark with my Circlet of Elements. And then I'm long resting, so I get all of these back. I lose a card, which I think is Rising Momentum. Because it would be really cool to, like, Infusion with Bounty of the Earth and then Emerald Edge. There's no reason to do anything this turn other than Crystalline Aegis, though. Did I heal the 2? No, I didn't, because I only suffered 2 from the crit because of all my armor, which is fantastic. Shackles will get to heal 2. Deathwalker will get to heal 2. She's back up to full health. Nobody has to suffer because the... what's it called is over. Maybe I don't need to move all Shadows 3 anymore. I need to get a Wave of Anguish off. Dominate, Fluid Knight. I'm going to need Black Barrage to get the Shadows over into the other room, so I guess I drop Fluid Knight. Shackles. Really low on cards here now. Maybe I don't need the heal anymore. I would rather have that heal than the Pleasure and Pain heal. Oh, also I get to suffer 3 to make him suffer 3, because I can still do that on a long rest. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. I guess I Reprisal, because here, even if he pulls the push, we're still good. So Reversal of Fate, Reprisal. Retaliate onto him as much as possible. Oh, and I can Crystalline Aegis. That'll be really good. So I'll have to move with it. I could use the boots to move. 1, 2, 3. I think I go this way. What's Onyx Shards? Deathwalker. There's a chance I could kill them this turn. Do I want to Lashing Tendrils? Yeah, Lashing Tendrils can deal good damage. Shackle's speed is 23. But Shackles isn't attacking, so he won't proc the... Oh, his 3 damage thing could proc it. Hey, there's the body block. There's the 24, literally the card that I was talking about. This is fine. This is totally fine. So Infuser will go here. Brittle both. Yeah, this is actually quite good for me, I think. Not there. She'll go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2 with jump because of her thing. Then Shackles will go. He will suffer 2 to make this guy suffer 2. Or 4, right? Because of the brittle. I suffer 2 to make him suffer 4. Then he will die to the wound. Then I will set up Reversal of Fate and Reprisal. So I have 3 retaliate and make him suffer the damage that I suffer. And I get to heal 2. Then they body block. So this guy suffers and dies. This guy just stands here and does nothing. Deathwalker will move 2 shadows for 3 and consume the dart to make him suffer 5, which is 10. And then consume a shadow to attack for 6. Do I want to wound? I figure I might as well, right? 6 with a curse and 7, so he takes 3. Oh, he has 1 bonus shield, so he takes 1 less and a wound. But now he just dies to Shackles, like, no matter what this next turn. So we'll just play these to heal. We'll just play these. We'll just... I guess Wave of Anguish to move all shadows and start moving them that way. Did Deathwalker attack either of these guys? Deathwalker attacked this guy, right? So he's marked with the Dominate. It's so far to get to this room. Maybe the next one, maybe the next episode is in this room too. So if Shackles can kill him... But Shackles isn't killing him on his turn. Shackles is killing the Steel Automaton on the Steel Automaton's turn. If Infuser could kill and then stand on the thing, if this is where the 4th episode takes place, because this is a really big room. It has to have 2 in it, right? Unless we have to get all the way back to the entrance, but that would be absurd. Oh, I need to pick up that loot on Deathwalker. Well, do I even go for the 4th episode, though? I haven't burned Wave of Anguish or my major power potion on Deathwalker. So I should do that. I shouldn't get out of the scenario until I've done that. So maybe I'll just go really late. It would be really nice to move all shadows for 3. Let's just go late and move shadows for 2. On the following turn, we can move shadows for 3 and attack with Hunger Grasps, and then we can rest, and then we can go. Cool. He does nothing. So I guess Shackles will suffer 3 to make him suffer 3, and then Shackles will heal for 5. And I don't really want to set the thing because I don't want to have to suffer 3, but I'll just heal for 5 and could heal for 6 as well, but don't need to do that. I totally forgot about the expertise potion. Haven't thought about that at all this scenario, but I'm long resting next turn, so that's fine. I guess Infuser just moves here. She could move here and set Leaf. Does she want Leaf? If she short rests, I would need Leaf and something. If I had Leaf and something, then I could Bounty of the Earth. If I had Leaf and Dark, then I could Emerald Edge. Let's go ahead and set the Leaf and get the experience with Bounty of the Earth. And then the question is just, do I want to Major Element Potion to get Dark? I got all my armor back. Let's do it. Because then I can short rest on this next turn. I could do like Onyx Shards bottom with Emerald Edge top. Maybe I won't. Okay, I'm not going to Element Potion. I will just long rest on this next turn on 2 characters, I think. Is this what I played this turn? Yeah, this is what I played this turn. Yeah. And so now I move all shadows 2. Deathwalker was supposed to pick up the loot before. And now she'll pick up the loot again. And move all shadows 2. Let's see, I've got move shadows 3 for next turn, so let's centralize. Because then when I move shadows 3, now I can move to any corner. And these ones at least got closer to this door for if I do just have to go into this room. If I do just have to go into this room, then I think I just end it after the third one. Which would be kind of lame. I long rest, and I guess I hope that 28 is late enough, right? I can go to 48 too. But it's not. I guess I'll attack with Hunger Grasps, because if I crit, he will die. So, Hunger Grasps, no crits. So just 4/4. He doesn't die to that. Whatever. Let's move to this corner. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And keep these centralized. Shackles is over in this corner. So anything that spawns in this corner, Shackles can take care of. I need something over in this corner and something over in this corner. And then this way, a move 2, I can hit. Yeah, this way with move 2 on the shadows, I can hit anywhere with Wave of Anguish. Then this guy dies. Oh. And now guys are going to spawn, aren't they? Because I'm already in the thing. Let's read the rules before we... Let's read the rules before we figure out where we're placing this shadow, right? Because it didn't open the door. With the dance complete, the bell chain drops again. Oh, I don't know if I read the previous one. Oh, well. The next time any character enters C, read that. Okay, so we don't get monsters, but once I move and re-enter it, we do. So we don't know where to place this, but here is a good placement because move 2, it can hit anywhere, right? And we long rested on these characters. So we can turn the leaf into anything. Let's make it dark. And then we get to heal 2. And we get to heal 2. Do I need to bring down Reversal of Fate? No, I don't get any extra turns out of it. So I drop Line of Transference. And then... what do I drop here? I don't have any elements. I need to move out of the thing that I'm in and stand back in it. So let's go for Bounty of the Earth. That'll give us Leaf. And we can Circlet of the Elements to get the Dark again on this next turn. To go for an Emerald Edge the following turn. So we'll drop Onyx Shards because we can't play the Loss. Maybe I drop Crystalline Aegis. Because I could do Bounty of the Earth with Emerald Edge. Short rest, lose Bounty of the Earth. Play Emerald Edge with Onyx Shards. And that's a pretty good final 2 turns for the Infuser. Shackles, I just have these 2 cards. Deathwalker, I'm long resting. Oh, whoops. We can just undo. And so we do Bounty of the Earth with Emerald Edge. Or Onyx Shards, it doesn't matter either way. Unending Torment with Reprisal. Now we start the round. And so I'll gain the experience and I'll set the leaf. And I'll use my helmet to turn dark into dark. And then I went this whole scenario without ever even playing the major element potion. But I guess it is what it is. Would it be better to get the Emerald Edge or the Chain of Actions? And I think it's better to get the Emerald Edge, unless I miss. And so with the bottom of Emerald Edge, I just move, right? So I have move 3. I'll move 1, 2, 3. Oh. That's pretty rough looking. Okay, so with my movement, I'll go 1, 2, and then I can have a third one still after I have entered the thing. This way, I can group up with Astral and Shackles. So that this guy... How much move do they have? 1, 2, 3? No. These guys are just going to hit Astral, and they won't be able to retaliate on Shackles. He's faster, so he can move here, and then this guy can retaliate on both. And that just is what it is. That's what we'll do. Okay. So that finishes Infuser. She set the... I already got my 1 shield. Whoops. And then now... Bolt Shooters. So guy number 2 will hit here and here. It's range 4. So attack for 3 into Shackles. It'll deal 2. Come on. Reversal of Fate has been so... bad in this scenario, but it's such a good card. I refuse to believe it's a bad card. I absolutely refuse. And then I've got 1 shield on this attack for 3. I can make it 2 shield, but I want the experience, so I'll just get 1 shield. So I would take 1 damage, and so we'll do that to take no damage. This guy, move 1, range 4, so Shackles and then Infuser. 4 damage and 3. They have no pierce, so we'll block it. And then move 1, but that's not in range. And then we get 1, 2, 3. No, we get Shackles. So Shackles will move 2 and retaliate 2 with Reprisal. Retaliate 3 with Reprisal. So I will Mana Potion to set Wind and Leaf. So that my Reprisal is Retaliate 4, and I get an experience over here. And I moved with Unending Torment, so I will go ahead and Health Potion here to heal 6. Now these guys get to go. This guy goes 3. He'll set Fire. Attack for 3. It does 1. Do I still have a shield? Yeah, but I don't really need to use it. Then they will strengthen themselves after they attack. And I already did the fire. This guy will go 1, 2, 3. He'll hit Shackles and then Infuser. So attack for 3. It does 3. He takes 4. Retaliate. And then Infuser, takes 5. 4 because of her shield. And then 2 because she still has this armor. And then this guy will go here, hit Shackles and Infuser. Shackles takes 4, and he takes 4 retaliate, and Infuser gets missed. And then Deathwalker can move a shadow for 3. So this... Let's see. I'm not in position to Wave of Anguish. I need to move all shadows, and then I can Wave of Anguish, which is fine. So Deathwalker gets all items back. I want to save Night Takes Shape. Maybe I drop Lashing Tendrils at this point. Because I think here my turn is Black Barrage, Wave of Anguish. And that will be very good. It'll get a lot of stuff. I know here I'm short resting to play Onyx Shards, Emerald Edge. Really sucks that I only got 2 infusions up. Here, if I short rest, I only have 1 more turn. What benefit do I get out of long resting, though? Not really any. I get to pick my card. I think I just want to lose Unending Torment. Let's lose a different card. Nice. And then I think Reversal of Fate top, Reprisal bottom is my best bet. And so We just need to burn bright and strong and hopefully finish off this scenario here. Infuser first, so let's eat these 2 elements for Emerald Edge. Attack for 5, ward self. I guess we'll go into this Blade Spinner. I need to get these Blade Spinners dead here. Let's go into this Blade Spinner. Blade Spinner number 3 with the attack for 5. And it does 4. I take 3, retaliate. Guy number 3 gets muddled, but he can't be wounded. And then I have this Onyx Shards. Create 4 1-hex obstacles and empty hexes within range 3. All enemies adjacent to at least 2 suffer a thing. And then I have to make leaf or dark, so we'll make dark. Any 1-hex obstacles? We've got some metal cabinets. So I can't make him here because that would wall off, right? This guy can't be next to 2. Or is it just 2 obstacles? Because he is next to 1. No, the created obstacles. So I can't make this guy suffer. I can only make 4, so I can make this guy suffer and this guy suffer. That's kind of sad. Ooh, you know what, though? You know what I can do. I can duelist shoes to move. And so I'll go here, so I can pick up a loot. And then I can make an obstacle here. Here. And then I can only make, I guess, here. And then the other one won't get anything for me. Here. And then these guys all suffer too. And I get to pick up a loot. Worth. Worth. Yeah, it also means that this guy can't hit anybody, which is kind of nice. Shackles is going to heal for 5. Bless himself. With Reversal of Fate. Then attack for 6 at range 6 with Curse. Attack for 6, range 6, Curse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could hit this guy. There's already a shadow under him, though, so he'll get hit. Let's go for this guy. Attack for 6, range 6, Curse. And we'll crit. No. We just do 6. And he gets cursed. And then I have move 2. Oh, on my Suffer 3. Let's not forget to do the Suffer 3. Let's target this guy, because I'm going to want guys dead. Let's go for this guy. Because Deathwalker is going to be hitting a bunch for 5 this turn. Now, they've got the Focus Fire. So I've got Reprisal Bottom, which will, whenever you suffer damage this round, one enemy within range 2 suffers 2. So I can use that with the Focus Fire to make guys take a lot of damage. So I guess I go here. Man, but now Infuser is the focus of this bolt shooter. But if I can let the Flaming Blade Spinners kill Infuser, then I can get more procs off on my Reprisal. So I'll pop these so that I take reduced damage. I'm never going to be able to get the 2 damage into this guy. What if I go here, though? Then I never get it into this guy. That guy's going to die easier to Deathwalker. Do I want to just stay here? I think I do want to just stay here. So I'll go 1, 2. And it would be okay to pick up the loot, but I don't want to, I don't think. And now Deathwalker. So Deathwalker can move all shadows for 3. And then attack everybody with Wave of Anguish for 5 with the Power Potion. I think we will bless ourselves before we start. Move all shadows for 3. So I would like to get 1 hit onto this guy, I think. 1 hit onto this guy, but then he'll die. So maybe we should focus these guys so that I can get the bonus damage out of... what's it called? So I'll move the shadows like this, and I'll just target the guys that are standing on him. Shackles is right here. This guy's gonna go 1, 2, 3. He won't be in range of Shackles' retaliate thing. I guess that's fine. Okay, let's attack here first, and we will Eagle Eyes all of these. Okay, that kills. Then attack here. It does 5. A guy, spinner number 3, he takes 6. Spinner number 1. Let's heavy sword to make it attack for 6. It will deal 8. And then finally into guy number 6. Hey, there's that bless. Okay, so he dies. That's beautiful. And that finishes Deathwalker. So now we do these guys. This guy goes 1, 2, 3, trying to get to hit Infuser. Guy number 3 will attack for 5 with wound into Shackles. The 5 with wound gets the -2 and deals 1 damage to Shackles. And then he gets to deal 2 damage to somebody. So let's deal 2 right here. Then guy number 5 is going to hit Infuser and draw 6, and Infuser dies. And then into Shackles, he deals 4. And Shackles can make him take 2 or kill this guy. Let's kill this guy. And then this guy attacks for 3 times. So I take 2, he takes 2. I take 3, he takes 2. I take a miss, and so I don't take damage and it doesn't go off. Whenever you suffer damage this round, one enemy within range suffers. That's totally fine. Unfortunately, I can't long rest because I'm all the way out of cards now, right? But we're okay. So I have 2 dead characters now. And Shackles is all the way dead. But Deathwalker does not need to pick up very much. Hunger Grasps, Night Takes Shape. Should be quite good here. She is first. So let's... Hunger Grasps, this shadow attacks this blade spinner, and then the one that's on the blade spinner will attack this guy. Attack for 3. And it does 4. And then I will move this shadow here and teleport to it. And attack for 3. This guy dies, so I get a new shadow. And this guy has move 4 jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. He wants to get to this hex or this hex, so he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, trying to get to here. Yeah. That's fine. Just like that. And now he's next to a shadow. But I'm full health, so we'll just long rest. Cool. He does nothing. Oh, I probably needed to suffer 3 from an element falling off on the previous turn from the challenge, but that's no big deal. And then we get these back, which will be nice. And then Hunger Grasps Night Takes Shape is like guaranteed to kill here. So we'll do Hunger Grasps and Night Takes Shape, and I'll probably just pick up a loot. Any doubles? I don't think so. So Hunger Grasps, attack with advantage. This shadow does 4. So we'll pull him 1, and then this shadow will attack, and he dies. And then I can move a shadow and teleport to it. And I get an experience for that. And I only have one more turn on Deathwalker, so we will call the scenario there upon finishing the 4th episode. Let's see what the final room would have been, though. This is a hard scenario to do all 5. A previously locked door at the right of the end of the ballroom opens on its own, beckoning you forward once more. This chamber feels less welcoming than the rest. It's noticeably colder, and a stone sarcophagus looms against the opposite wall. There is yet another bell. So we are ending the scenario there. We are not going forward anymore. But, I mean, let's just see what it would be, right? 116.1. Here is the in this godforsaken frozen north, I found a space to claim my birthright. Here I am emperor, I am lord. Bend your knee. You will scream my name with your last breath. I command you, dance with me. The 5th episode is overcome when all revealed enemies are dead. Oh my goodness, I would not have been anywhere close. Elite Living Doom and 2 Living Bones. So 12 and 27. Wow. Cool scenario, though. I like that one. I mean, it's very thematic. I'm pretty sure I did the arcane tactics correctly. That was a really fun one to do with Infuser, given that she's all about elements. Infuser, I think, is the most fun element-focused class I've played before. We'll see if that continues to be the case. One of the things I generally dislike about element classes is, like, you know, you make a plan to set, like, Leaf and Dark on one turn, and then the next turn you are locked into that plan, because, like, you've got your Leaf and Dark up. So if you don't do that, like, you don't really get to pick your cards at all, right? But one thing that makes Infuser really nice is that these effects that you're building multiple elements for are really good. I mean, this Emerald Edge effect, literally, I mean, an attack 5 ward self experience level 1 card. Literally every single class in the game would love to have that. So it's a very good effect. And then adding +1 move and jump to all of your abilities and getting to do like 1 to 2 to 3 attack 3s in a scenario is pretty good. It feels bad that there's no way to proc the infusions until level 5. Because, like, you play this and you think, I'm going to get to attack 3 a bunch of times, and I got to do it twice. So, like, the whole infusions effect just is almost meaningless. I only did this strengthen 1 time in the scenario. And, like, maybe I didn't play her well, but she felt really strong. I mean, she felt good. She really felt good. She didn't feel like she was playing, I mean, a level 2 character facing level 6 monsters is, like, basically playing on +5 difficulty, for that specific character. And it did not feel like she was 5 levels of difficulty behind. She does have insane items, like, truly insane items. This is, like, literally everyone would love this item layout if they can ignore negative item effects. But yeah, pretty happy. I had to have gotten Slayer, right? I don't remember. Yeah, on the Wave of Anguish, I killed 2 bolt shooters. Streamliner, no, I was dead. So I don't know how I thought I was going to finish with 5 cards left. I know my other challenges were, other things were basically impossible, though. We got the challenge, which gives us another job posting to go do. Let's do this real quick. Replace 2 +10s with +10 advantage, but it is rolling. That's, like, really good. +10 a lot of the time defends anyway. Replace 2 +10s. So basically, okay, I can take out a -10 or I can take out 2 +10s. Maybe I want these rolling, because generally when I'm getting attacked, I'm drawing like 6 cards, right? At least. So maybe I'll take 2 rolling lumbers, 41-1. Let's complete the scenario first. So 177.5. Yeah, it doesn't know which page to go to because it doesn't know which one we did. You flee the room, scramble up the stairs, and arrive, panting, back at the courtyard above. I see your feet are tired, the voice rings out. A pity. Still, I implore you, remember the name, Ventilion. Oh, and as a thanks for attending my party, please accept this humble gift. A stone door swivels in a carved alcove, and a burgundy velvet sack embroidered with 3 gold letters in gold thread with the letter V appears on the plate. Gain any X collective material resources where X is the number of episodes overcome. So we get 4. That seems fair. I got a lot of gold on Infuser. 32 gold is a lot for a new character. And now let's do 41.1. The collection, 87. Captain Olmsted, head of the town guard, brings you out to the cold. Man, it would be really nice if we could talk to Captain Olmsted about some other stuff, potentially, like upgrading this barracks 3 years into having been here. Head of the town guard brings you out of the cold and into the warm barracks. By the fire is a shivering Inox girl wrapped in heavy pelts. Enox. I don't know why I said Inox. The rest of the normally lively barracks is empty, cleared out at the captain's orders. He speaks quietly to you, out of earshot of the girl. Patrol found her outside the wall, frozen half to death. Claims someone called the Collector has been holding her and her brother for a few weeks now. I've seen the Collector in the boss deck thing. That would be a good one to do. Maybe my characters aren't that good into bosses, though, except for Deathwalker. Am I going to really struggle once I remove Deathwalker and put in Prism? Ooh, Infuser leveled up. The Collector has been holding her and her brother for a few weeks now. I don't have the troops to spare, but I'm not letting this one languish over at the town hall. Someone has to do something. You draw closer to the girl, as non-threateningly as you can. She tries to put on a brave face when she sees you, but the facade doesn't last long. After a few deep breaths, she speaks. I think I can tell you where. He has my brothers, the Collector. She sobs, and Captain Olmsted puts a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Promise me you'll stop him. Alright, I mean, I want to do that one, too. I always want to do all of these. I mean, I need to... Oh, it's a 2-parter. I want to do these. I really want to finish this prison break scenario that I started, because we went to all of the trouble to... 100 was a really cool scenario. That's one of my favorite scenarios I've ever played, where you work backwards through your cards. You start with 2, and once you reach your max hand size, you lose. And this is like a 5-parter, so like I really want to do those. I need to go unlock Prism, but having Prism instead of Deathwalker is going to really suck for Infuser, because it's so nice to be able to give Dark for Infuser and not have to worry about getting the Dark herself. Oh, shame. Shame. And I'm terrified of Prism, because when I've looked at the cards, it's like... It's so confusing. It is completely mind-boggling. Okay. So that's that. I don't think I added the 2 wood cards, did I? Yeah, add 2 rolling lumbers. Rolling lumber. Add those in. And so now let's get attacked, shall we? The library is quiet. You're finishing up a conversation with Etika, the Valorath librarian. Man, and I want to go play the Tower of Knowledge so that I can get my first tome. When the door opens and in walks Violet, the Valorath lurker researcher. You had not noticed until now, but these two look miraculously... Hey sis, brought you a sandwich. Barbecued polar bear. Violet hands her twin sister a wrapped package, then opens her own. Apparently, it's all the rage with lurkers. Etika takes a bite of the sandwich, but spits it back into the paper wrapper. Belch, lurkers like this? Apparently, Violet repeats, taking a large bite. Not bad. She turns to your party. You working on that silly book project of hers? Etika snaps back, suddenly very grumpy. They're tomes of power, Violet, and I think they'd agree our research into the tomes has been more fruitful than your weird fascination with idiotic clawed monsters. She turns to you, subconsciously balling her hands into fists. Right? You could really go for an attack on the... you could really go for an attack on the outpost right now. Option A, recognize there isn't a good option here and agree with Etika that books are great. Option B, recognize there isn't a good option here and agree with Violet that lurkers are great. Books are great. Option A. Interesting. It's the same thing either way. And the text looks the same, at least for the first half. No, the first bit of the first half. I said A, right? Yeah. You mumble what you thought was a very diplomatic answer about how great books are, and that definitely shouldn't upset either Valorath. But the looks on their faces make it clear this was precisely the wrong thing to say. After some back and forth sisterly bickering, Violet departs, rolling her eyes as Etika hollers after her. Etika straightens her skirt and turns back to you with a huff. Well, I do appreciate you siding with me. She always gets her way, so that's a nice change. In any case, I have some information that might help narrow down the location of the next tome. Look through the Summer Road deck until you find Summer Road 47, 48, or 49, and put it on top of the deck. So, do I shuffle these? Let's shuffle these and go in order until we see one of them. And there it is. Okay, cool. What am I doing? Okay, we finished our event, so we can spend gold and get our resources. 16 gold. I guess Deathwalker is going to retire first, so she can lose 16. 27 down to 16 would be 11. Or down 16 would go to 11. And then I get 3, 3, 2. Well, I don't need to buy any items, right? So this can all go to building buildings now, which is good. And I get to level up. We get our herbs from the garden. And then, okay, I need to make sure I upgrade this craftsman. I feel like I did it before, but I'm not sure if I did or not. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think what had happened was I looked at the craftsman and I paid the thing to upgrade it, and then I forgot that I wasn't Prosperity 6 yet. And so then I upgraded a different building to get to Prosperity 6. And so I can't actually have the dancing slippers that I have now because I added them to the thing early. So this time we'll pay the cost to upgrade the craftsman to this. So 744. And we can afford that easily. 7, 4, 4. And we'll just use the craftsman wood onto that wood. And so then now we can have upgraded the craftsman. And I still couldn't buy the dancing shoes, but I really like them. Those are really, really cool and really good on this character specifically. We get a prosperity. Did we need to pay a morale for the last one? I don't think so. We just do for the next one. That was the building phase. I can go back in time to get blesses on Deathwalker. We did another challenge, so we're at 10. So she is almost done. Only 2 more scenarios. I got 2 check marks on her, right? Did I shuffle them already? No. I got Slayer, which is 2 check marks, but both the other 2 characters failed theirs. But we get another one, so we take these rolling disarms, I believe. Yeah. Rolling disarm and rolling muddle. Not bad, but not super helpful, and they can make it so that I draw those with advantage, which isn't always necessarily something I want, but I would prefer more cards that just deal damage. This is still a good attack modifier deck, though. Only 3 zeros, and then we've got several curse cards, which can be useful. We've got extra +2s, and then with the blesses, we just do stupid damage. I'm never going to get either of these masteries. You really have to go hard into specifically getting them. So, that's fine. maybe I could place or remove one each turn on one of the on like a survive 12 turns scenario. But I don't think I will ever get the remove 7 in a round 1. Maybe if I can get the level 9 card, which I'm 4 XP away from. That's sad. Does our difficulty go up since... No, it doesn't. Since Infuser leveled. Deathwalker got her battle goals, so we're done with that. It is time to make sure we finished everything else in town. I don't need any soldiers, do I? No, I'm full, since I can hold none. And so we will just level the Infuser and then be done. I definitely think... Okay, I'm very happy with the cards that I have chosen to take. I don't feel like I was missing these at all. My initiative is pretty good, even without Boots of Speed for once. They're quite good. So we can... What is this? Wind and Leaf, a bottom. Create a 1-hex obstacle and an empty hex within range 5. Immobilize all enemies adjacent to the created obstacle. That is insanely good. That is really insanely good. And then this top attack, attack 3, but into 2 targets. Or into 3 targets. With the possibility, and create wind, but then always the possibility of drawing some of those extras. Or we can take another infusion. Your current and maximum hit point value is increased by 3, and you're immune to curse. So, positives and negatives of this. Positive, Leaf is very easy for us to get. Dark is very easy while we have the Deathwalker. Once we lose the Deathwalker, Dark won't be that easy. We can get it out of the Onyx Shards. It's a little bit underwhelming for your top in a turn to just be to disarm one target. But to disarm one target and get your element is pretty good. I like the idea that it's a bottom infusion. But the fact that it is Leaf Dark means that I can't ever play it with Emerald Edge, even with an infusion potion. Which is sad, because like a really ideal turn would be to have Boon of the Tempest up, to have Caress of Night up, play Veil of Protection with Emerald Edge, increase my max health by 3, ward myself, get strengthened, attack for 3 with Strengthen and Wound, then attack for 5 with Strengthen and Wound, and then ward again. So I guess that part doesn't really matter. And like the number of times I'm getting infusions in this scenario, it's just not enough for it to be super worth this. But once I have level 5 and I get to do it once per rest cycle, being able to add ward to myself at any point in time is pretty nice. Immune to curse is really nice, but that's very situational. And increasing your current and max health by 3 is good. I mean, we have seen from Shackles that increasing the max health by 5 is like extremely effective. So do I want a late multi-hitting attack? Being able to attack 3 targets for 3, like if we don't reduce it at all, is really good. I really want to take this just because it's an infusion, and infusions are fun. But like, do I need heal 5, range 3? Heal 3, range 3 set Leaf is really good in between turns, but we already have so many ways to set Leaf. We've got this shield card. We've got this move card. If I take this card, does that mean that I drop Torrential Cleave? Torrential Cleave has a really good synergy with these Duelist Shoes, because I can move in, set my element, immobilize 2 guys, and the Duelist Shoes to move onto a different enemy. And then I get like full effect out of these, out of this immobilize. Yeah, I can't even set wind once I play Boon of the Tempest, which I think I just want to play very early into basically every scenario, I can't set Wind until, or except for having Shackles set it for me. And I took out the move for Immobilize on Shackles, so Shackles is just playing with the only Wind setter is his heal 5. I kind of liked Blood Ritual with the Heartstring Bow. But maybe it just has me spread a little bit too thin. That scenario would have gone way better had I just had the Retaliates go off, but I kept playing the Retaliates and then the monster's not retaliating, which I guess is a... I mean, it's a fitting way to have things get messed up, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what to do. See, this is why I wanted to start at level 1 and not start at level 3, because... you know, once you've played the class a little bit, even if you've only played it a little bit, you have more of an idea of what you're looking for and what you're wanting with your level ups. Because 100%, if I hadn't played the class at all, I would just take this Veil of Protection and be very happy with it. If I'm going for the tankiness, then the Ward is really good. Immune to Curse is always super nice. And increase health by 3. I guess it's required if you're going for, like, the summon build, because then this guy becomes 5 health. 5 health with wound on every attack, which is pretty cool. It will be hard to get Dark, though. It's just so easy to get Leaf, which makes me not want to take this Veil of Protection. If this were heal 5, reduce the heal to heal 3, set Dark, I would take this in a heartbeat. This bottom is nice. Hard to get Wind, though. This top would be a nice way to create Wind. Then I have 2 very decent attacks to create Wind with. And hitting... they both hit a bunch of targets, which is really, really nice for the Caress of the Night to spread out both Muddle and Wound. I feel like because Boon of the Tempest is so good and Caress of Night is so good... that this infusion would only get play in scenarios where I really want the immunity to curses. Which I think means I'm taking Remote Impact, because it'll be better in more scenarios. And I can drop this Battle Prowess, because it doesn't create Dark, it sustains Dark. And I hate myself for not taking an infusion, because I really want more infusions, but in this scenario, I didn't even play Bounty of the Earth for the bottom. Because, like, this top is really valuable. And having another way to generate Wind would be good. Tough choice. Very tough choice. It really hurts to leave behind an infusion on the infuser. And then then I'm not getting an infusion here. Man, do I have enough healing for myself? I've just got like a bottom heal 2, and then I've got this self-regenerate, but Crystalline Aegis is really good for the top. I've got this infusion to heal. Might have been the wrong decision. Maybe level 3 I go back. Because I don't need this. I don't need 18 initiative. I've got 14 and 17. I don't need just like a little bit of Retaliate. Because like even later into a scenario, this is still only just Retaliate 2. Retaliate 2, range 2, eh. Attack 3 bottom is nice. This whole turn elements into elements thing is like... I still have no idea if that's any good or not. 35 initiative is not good. Do I need a move 4 top? There's nothing to complain about in attack 3 bottom. And I don't even have to reduce the power to get any element out of it. To be able to convert Leaf into Dark does sound really good. Up here it would convert Leaf into Wind. Because Leaf is definitely the most plentiful. But maybe at this level I could go back. I think I'm definitely not taking Reinforced Riposte. So it's either Guide the Flow or I go back for Veil of Protection. Would I rather have a bottom attack 3 or a top heal 5? Because I do not need this leaf. This leaf is like almost completely insignificant to me. Initiatives are both bad, but 35 is better. So I think at level 3 I'm going to take Guide the Flow. But I'm not certain of that. Then level 4, this one I'm definitely taking. Wind Dark is hard to make, so that makes me even more happy to take the level 2 card that makes Wind. After an adjacent enemy attacks you, they gain Curse. Please. Please. And then, like, during my infusion cycle, I get to disarm something. Now, can I use the Duelist Shoes in between infusion abilities? You perform each time an infusion action is performed, potentially yielding a chain reaction when you have multiple active infusions. These extra abilities can be performed in any order when triggered. So I don't know if I can do the Duelist Shoes. It would be really nice to be able to move in the middle of to be able to disarm one guy and then attack a different guy for 3 and strengthen myself. And that's probably all that I would have up. But oh, this bottom is quite nice. Not even for like the thing that it does, but just to pull 1 on any enemy. There would have to be an enemy exactly 2 range away from me to do it. Oh no, there wouldn't. He can be adjacent because I can muddle with it. So I would just muddle an adjacent enemy, and then I get to get Wind and Dark. That's really nice. Or, if I don't need the elements for it, I could use it to pull guys in for the Slashing Cyclone. Is something. Maybe I could pull things in for Remote Impact, because this is 2 away from me. So if there are guys at 3 away, then I pull them in for the Remote Impact. And I think I'm very happy with these choices. Because this infusion is insane. This attack is insane. Attack 5, target an enemy within range 4. Attack 4 to set Leaf. But once again, we don't need Leaf. And then sustain any element. Move 2, loot 1, sustain any element. That is like the greatest in-between rooms card of all time. And then level 5 gets really good with an infusion that's non-lost. Very excited. Very excited. I don't think I took a perk, did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from retiring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get 1 more. So we take this other Leaf Dark. Maybe we want Wind Dark. Because now we know that Wind Dark are the ones that are harder to set. Leaf is way easier to set. So -1 for a Wind Dark. Okay. And we built a building already.